And so my first epiphany was that I found that I could take that same amount of money I spent on that house, buy shares of stock, and not just make more money than I was making on that property, but also I could do it with more peace of mind. Does that make sense? Let me know if you get that. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm asking you to consider what I'm saying and if the logic is adding up. Okay. Sometimes I talk fast. This stuff is really interesting to me, so sometimes I'll talk extra fast. That's why I repeat myself, and I hope that that's okay. All right. So my annual ROI on real estate, when I did the calculation, was, let's say, 10% a year, something like that, not including things like busted toilets and stuff like that. My annual ROI on stock options was much higher. It's about 60%, right? So my income cash flow kind of scenario was so much better. And so I just found that that stock options were just a far better way to make money than owning property. And I say this carefully because I know a lot of you love real estate, and I do too. I own property. I still do. Real estate's great for diversification. I don't consider it to be the best option for generating cash flow. Okay. So moving on. Uh, Starting a business. Okay. A lot of us, once we graduate, first we start off with the essentials, right? Go to school and get a good job. Then we get a little bit older for a lot of us, and we have somebody say, well, you should have your own business. And I believe in business ownership. I think that's really important. But there's obstacles that starting a business can be risky as well. In my community, our community, for a lot of us, and if you're not black, that's okay. We love you too. In our community, there's an 80% failure rate for black-owned businesses. And the thing is, it'd be one thing if it was an on-off switch, like you flipped a coin and you found out if you were going to succeed or fail on the first day. But typically, the failure occurs after years and years of 10, 12-hour days, thousands and thousands of dollars that you put into building this dream, lots of energy that you put behind this business. Now, I'm not here to say you shouldn't have a business. I'm here to encourage you to really think carefully about the best allocation of resources and capital and the best ways to make money. And so, one of the things about business is I love the freedom. The freedom's awesome. I didn't have to work for anybody. That was great. And I still run a business. I love running a business for sure. And I've made money. I've made a few $1 million over the course of my life. It's been fun. But the thing was, I started to just get so fatigued. I was like, man, I'm working all the time, and it really just messes with your mental health. You get exhausted. There's another stressor, and then maybe you get in your 40s or 50s and something weird happens, high blood pressure or whatever, and you just realize you can't do that forever, right? And so what that led me to reflect on is that sometimes what we think is the dream really isn't the full dream. Maybe it's the dream for the stage that you're at, but there's a dream beyond the dream. And I'll give you an example. I know people that are like attorneys, really successful lawyers, and they have really big like hourly rates, like $400 an hour, right? And they'll work like 50 hours a week. So they're making $20,000 a week because they've got so many clients that want to work with them. That seems like a dream. But then when you start looking at the fine print of their life, you start seeing little cracks in the foundation of their life. You start seeing problems that come up, like working so much that you're in the hospital because you had a heart attack, or you can't take you're eating Cheetos at your desk because you're working so much and you end up becoming overweight, or maybe you find out your wife is sleeping with the pool boy because you're not giving her enough attention, or maybe your kids are out acting crazy because they don't feel like they have a mother or a father or whatever. So really, that led me to really talk to you guys more about making sure you understand that trade-off, and just understanding that just because you're not investing money, that doesn't mean you're not making an investment.